is not a normal market open. We're up 33% already, 36%. This thing is cooking. Normally it takes a little more time than this. Guys, this is we had Powell speaking this morning. The market started jumping like crazy. We got our order in. So far, so good. Let's not early celebrate. Things can still flip back against us, but so far, so good. There you go. Rodney up now 35%. Nice. Cynthia did XSP and did SPX on her own. Nice job, Cynthia. I actually did SPX as well. And I will show you guys this week. I told you this week I'm just doing XSP because I want to keep it easy for everyone. I want to keep it simple. But over this coming week, we're going to be doing the master classes and all of that good jazz, and I will walk you through XSP, SPX. There's really no difference other than contract size. So depending on how much you want to invest, that's where the big difference is going to come. In other news, Apple finally had a nice open.
I know. How about that? Apple actually moving in the right direction. Nice to see our dear laggard friend trying to pick up.
Yep, definitely is. All right, where did my
Dennis said, "Why wait? 35% is a good profit." Well, that's true, Dennis. But well, I say we. Graham built a whole strategy and optimized the target for more like 50% on a given day. So for every $1,000, around $500 profit is the average winner. And we'll get into a little bit more of that later, I'm sure, because I know we have a whole bunch of questions, a whole bunch of people who said they weren't even there last night. I see Joseph and George and Brandon and a whole bunch of others who were there last night, and then a whole bunch of people who are actually in the trade right now, which is cool.
Yeah, now we are almost at the profit target already, Nate. This has been a crazy morning. I'm a little bit all over the place at the moment because this is not normal for the market to shoot this fast, this high. But so far so good. I'm gonna post in the Telegram channel for folks real quick, just to show them why I'm liking today's setup a lot, even though it's kind of Monday morning quarterback that even though we're already in, now the internals are matching up with us too, which is good. This morning we had mixed market internals. If you guys are in the Telegram channel, you saw I posted that two of our three market indicators were pretty actually they were headed down at the open. Let me just post this. All three market internals favor now. All right. So if you're in the 60-minute Telegram channel, you should have just seen me post there for you guys. TradeStation's ticker $XSPW.X. Wow. I don't use TradeStation, Wayne, but thanks for that tip.
Yeah, some of those brokers have the different ones, especially for the daily or the non-underlying.
Actually, let me just show you guys what I just posted in Telegram. For those of you who are in the 60-minute income channel. So here, and if I can get this to move, here we go. Here was our opening range. You can see how high and far we are already out of that range. If you remember, you probably already read the Getting Started guide, which walks you through exactly what this is and what we're looking for. Buy calls across the board, no confusion there. We have gone higher since then. You can see we're already almost at the profit target in about 13 minutes from entry. This is a 60-minute trade on average. We'll see if we can smoke that today. It'd be an awesome start. But here's the internals. So the Vold going higher since the opening. But look at the advanced decline. Look, going down
Excuse me.
at the open. The tick was going down at the open. So that's why I posted in Telegram. Only one of the three was looking bullish. But now ticks or Vold's still going higher. ADD turning around. Tick turning around. If we can get an exit here in the morning, or, just in the next few minutes, that would be awesome. You can see the limit price really close. So Thinkorswim's cool because it visually shows you where you need roughly the stock to be to hit that target. So we're really close to it already.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, that's a super quick mover from the open. The cool thing is you might hit the trade real quick. The other side of the coin is, you had to jump on the trade pretty darn quick this morning to get in. It wasn't a grinder, so probably a faster execution needed this morning than average, I would say.
Yeah, and that's how I kind of opened today's session. This is not normal. Let me just pull up like the most other recent one. So like this one moved quick. You can just see how quick that candle went. Previous day, Friday, we had an entry, but there was some time to buy before it really cratered. because our entry actually came on this candle because we waited for SPY confirmation. So I was able to actually add to it for cheaper. Look at this one. We had our entry here. Normally you get some time to enter. Look, that's about 30 minutes where you can enter during that window and hit your target.
Or got even better price on that one too, as it popped a
Exactly.
little bit back
Buy
down. Yep.
puts, nice window. So just letting you guys know here, buy puts, we had plenty 30-minute window there easily to get your fills in, better prices than me. But sometimes we get stuff like this where it looks, it just starts moving out of the gate. So that's a good start for us. If you're in the trade right now, just to give you an idea, like we're already above the line into the sand for us. So it's just a matter of time right now. As time goes by, options start to decay. We get closer and closer to our profit target. That's good for us here if options start to decay, or when they do, I should say. But yeah, Apple off to a nice little start.
Yeah. Nice.
1.5%. Need it. I mean, this thing, we had a perfect Apple entry and an Apex entry come together right back in here and then just been chopping since. But we got earnings coming up. We'll see what happens.
Interesting. This is kind of interesting open across the board here because we've got pretty much everything moving up, including gold. Bitcoin's up. Obviously, we just looked at the SPY and the Qs; those are up. But at the same time, VIX popped 2%, a little actually over 2%, and then slid at the open. So interesting to see. There's kind of been a higher, like a sticky high VIX. Now, 16 isn't high for the VIX, but considering we're at all-time highs right now, and it was down in the 11s and 12s before, it's interesting that it's kind of been sticky. And even on some of these weekends where we get a pretty grindy up move, market opens up 0.2%, grinds up to 0.5%. Can't really ask for more of a stable move in the markets, and yet the VIX is up 2%. So just kind of interesting. Obviously, I think shows that, even as the markets are this high, people are still a little edgy. News always around the corner, all that sort of stuff. So speaking of the market, let me just show you real quick. I mean, Graham actually has the SPY up there as
You want to leave that
well.
up or no?
But hey, I'll just flip it over to my side real quick because there's a couple other things I want to include today, and then I'll hand it back over for you. But here's where we're at in the market. So we've been looking at this consolidation box for about 2 weeks now. It has, stayed very tightly in this range. We got the pop there on Thursday, and then it kind of retreated back to the very top on Friday. And now we've got a pretty positive day. Obviously, this is right at the market open, so it's a little more positive day right now. And so I think, if the SPY can maintain above 630, we have a very good probability here of making another leg up 2, 3, 4%. So I'm cautiously optimistic, as I tend to be in most cases when we get these moves. Each time we've gotten a break so far, we've gotten a little bit of indecision like you can see here, a little bit of indecision like you can see here, a little bit of indecision like you can see here, and then it's grinded higher. So I think we're still in that place right now. If you guys were in a couple sessions ago, I mentioned one of the ways you can trade this. If you like the potential for the upside and you have a lot of bullish positions, like I do, and you want something that you can quote unquote hedge with, I like the idea of playing like a two-way trade there because I think it gives you the opportunity to still be bullish. If the market spikes up, you still have the opportunity to make some money. But at the same time, if it goes down, you have some protection versus just buying puts, and then it just eats away all of your potential profit to the upside. So that's something to consider. But right now, pretty bullish. Now, there's a couple things we talked about last week that I wanted to revisit here. So do you guys remember this crazy test? This was when I showed you putting an exit on the debit spread. So this was basically taking the SPY and just saying like, hey, what if I just assume bullishness overall, and then I put a target over the last 10 plus years. So that's a ton of trades. So I got a couple questions. By the way, this went from $10,000 to $1.3 million with a 91% win rate over the last 10 years. And so I got a couple of follow-up questions about that. Now, the crazy thing is I didn't really spend much time optimizing this at all. I ran, just a handful of tests. Usually I would run a lot more if I was trying to actually build a strategy. I just wanted to give you guys a basic idea of how this would work. So for those of you asking about the rules, here are the rules behind that particular strategy if you want to jot these down. So what I did with this particular one to get this equity curve right here was I ran the test where you buy the SPY or the SPX debit spread every single morning. So this is literally just 9:45 a.m. every day. You add a little bit more. And the way that you know which debit spread to buy is that the long call is the closest one to the money. So if the SPY is at 529, you buy the 529 call, and then you sell the one that's closest to 0.5% out of the money. Well, how do you figure that out? Well, you times 529 by 1.005. That's going to give you the one that's, about 0.5% out of the money. And then that's the one that you sell. And you build your debit spread that way every morning. And then the expiration was the closest to 60 days. So you just look at your expiration to find which one you're going to trade. You find the one that is the closest to 60 days out. And the allocation there was 1% of your net liquidity. So if you got $1 million, you're doing 10K a day. If you've got $10,000, you're doing, $100 a day. So just depending on, what your liquidity is, that's what you're going to get. And the target there is a 25% net profit, which if you guys saw the calculator, this calculator here that we built, which will be in the members area soon, you would just go ahead to the 25% right there. And, after you actually plugged in your spread, and it would give you the exact limit order to put for your 25%. So that was just the very basic idea. If anyone wants those rules, I'll post them in the chat for you guys if you want to jot these down. Now, my next question is, those results were pretty crazy. Does anyone want me to kind of actually optimize this a little bit further and share the rules? Obviously for free. I'm not talking about building a service out of it, but this is kind of like a portfolio strategy. So this is not like a, active trading service. This is like if you wanted to do something on a portfolio basis, this idea of adding some liquidity every single day in the market seems kind of amazing to me because it automatically cost averages at a super aggressive level, or the market's up, down, everything in between. You're going to get more money into the market with a portfolio basis and then roll. So usually, guys, I would run hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tests to get to an optimized strategy. This curve is me running like, 5 or 6 tests. So I would imagine that I could get this up to a 95, 96% win rate and $10 to $15 million ending balance, honestly, with some optimization here, just running. So, but this is it. This is every morning here. Let me give you the exact time. This was at 9:45 a.m. And I didn't even optimize that. That's just I just threw it in there to start. So once again, I'll plug those rules in for you. Okay, so if you want me to do that, this question, I got lots of yeses. I'll do a little bit of work on that, and I'll share the rules for you guys for free. Maybe I'll post a little strategy guide in the Opening Playbook VIP members area once I get my final set of rules that just walks you through every detail, how you manage it, and all that. But I'll share it for free for everyone, the basic rules like I did there. Okay, next thing on my list was who got in on the weekend options trade from Friday?
I cannot believe. Again and again and again and again.
So that
I thought when I laid the hammer down on our 86% win rate we had, no one was going to top it. Here you are.
So that's 11 guys. This is nuts. I mean, listen, I'm a confident guy. I expect to win, all that stuff. I don't build strategies that I plan on losing money with, but to not take a loss in 2025 so far is pretty crazy. We're playing with fire almost at this point. So that was awesome. Cynthia, Debbie, Vernan, Lauren, Brandon, John, Debbie, Ozzy, Jason, Bob, awesome. Linda, Chad, Lester, Dale Barr.
Cynthia got 28%.
Oh, Cynthia, you jerk. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Love that. Shannon got it. Sweet. Karen. Oh my goodness. Ton of you guys. This is awesome. Okay. So is Dave T in here? Dave, give me a shout out if you're in here, because I was pretty pumped to hit my target first thing in the morning. And by the way, automated options hit the target first thing in the morning, which I haven't even got to brag on automated options, which is on a mega hot streak right now because weekend options is just on a crazier hot streak. But not only did I get the win first thing in the morning, which was awesome, but I got one of the craziest emails I've ever seen. Dave T sent me this email last night and said, hey, by the way, My weekend trade filled Sunday. So I assume everyone else, like me, got filled this morning when the market opened at 9:31 a.m. Dave got filled Sunday night on his weekend option trade. And you can see it here. At first, I just thought he was confused. No offense, Dave. I thought he sent me this email Sunday, Phil. I thought he was just looking at it. The value was changing, and he was just confused about his trade. But if you look at the screenshot, he was actually filled. His profit is fully realized, and the trade, the buy side is sold, the sell side is bought. This was an actual closed trade. And so I immediately sent it to Graham. I said, is this real? I just got an email saying Dave got filled Sunday night. Well, apparently, XSP and SPX are trading nights and over the weekend, Sunday night opens, on some brokers, specifically with interactive brokers. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to research this and verify that it's all real, and that they'll do it at high volume. And if that's the case, guys, I'm probably going to switch to interactive brokers. I have $1 million in Schwab that I put in and have built stuff and invested in Schwab and really learned Think or Swim now and all of that. But if I can get filled nights and weekends, that's an edge I basically cannot ignore. So I am going to be looking into this. If that's the case, I can't imagine that I can justify doing anything else other than trading through interactive brokers. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. But yeah, I just thought that was insane. If you guys just run the numbers on that, over time, you're getting all that extra market exposure. The way that we use targets, that goes back, by the way, to the target training that I gave last week. So if you go back to that, you will see why that advantage can be so big, because you're giving the market more time, more open exposure to hit the target. So I will absolutely keep you updated on that. Seems insane to me that one broker could give you that level of advantage. But you know what it is, Graham? It's probably that no one used this target structure, and so it's not even kind of in the mainstream. No one even thinks about that as an advantage. They think about it on the underlying, but I think it is a crazy, huge advantage.
Oh, it definitely is. That's insane. You can pretty much apply it to anything using those tickers that holds overnight. So that's awesome.
Yep. Jason, the results were this test that I ran so far using these rules. So the everyday ended up, by the way, one of my favorite things about this test, this is the last 10 years, goes from $10,000 to $1.3 million, 91% win rate. Pretty crazy stats. You know what? One of the craziest things is the max drawdown here is less than the underlying SPY itself. Yeah. How crazy is that, guys? You trade with quote unquote leverage using these spreads, and your max drawdown is less than just holding the SPY over that same time frame. So that's pretty crazy in and of itself there.
I really can't even, that chart is so pretty.
I know. I think that's because that every day gives you just more, more evenness in your account. And by the way, I'm gonna get the chart to look a lot better. Lisa, that's from 2015. I just did 10 years. So I did 10 years. Average day in trade was 21 days. Because you're doing it with about a 60-day expiration, as I mentioned here, but then you have that target to turn you out of that capital more quickly. No, Mac, these are debit spreads. So what you're doing here is you're buying the call closest to the money, and then you're selling the call at the same time, closest to 0.5%. I'll do a full deeper training on this, Mac, once I get to a more optimized test. Maybe we'll just send an opening playbook. I'll let you guys know when we're going to do it, and I'll just do an entire hour strategy guide, exactly how it works, why we set up the targets, how we recycle the capital from A to Z on how this strategy would work in real time, and then just give it away all for free on how it all works. Okay, let's move on, because I got some stocks that I am loving right now. Still loving ANET right now. Still loving Tesla right now. I think those are great risk rewards. Still loving IBIT. That's obviously Bitcoin, just in case anyone's not clear. That is Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin has a chance to rip to 125K or so this week. Really like Shop and AVGO. AVGO and NVIDIA, I think two of the strongest stocks right now, just pure momentum plays. GE had a very rare pullback, couple of red candles there. So I think GE, anytime I get a couple of red candles, I'm like, hey, time to jump back in, because that thing is an absolute monster. And then CCJ, guys, the nuclear stuff has really gotten ripping. And I think it's easy to look at it and quickly go into that, hey, it's overextended mentality. I don't really believe in that overextended mentality. I mean, eventually, yes, that will happen, and you'll see it. But I think more often than not, most people just shrink their chart down. It looks too high, and sometimes Graham will tell you, "Hey guys, just move the chart down a little bit to the left, and you'll see a lot more room." Than it looks like when it's stacked up against the top right corner of your chart. And I would put nuclear in that category. Yes, it's been hyped and excited, but if you guys just do some basic math on how much potential is left in nuclear, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, charts are a visual or can be a visual and mental trap, especially if you have a chart like GE or GEV, which is their nuclear or their energy side of General Electric. You look at the chart and you say, I can't. Actually, I have a story for you guys. I bought GEV. Actually, I was gifted GEV because I owned GE stock. They did a spinoff
Same.
and they gave me a ton of shares. It was awesome. It was at like 160 bucks, 140 bucks. Things at like 500 something now. I look at GEV, I own it, and I've been crushing it. I'm up huge on it, and I said, this is a chart, this is a stock I want to keep owning. Meanwhile, then I flip over to Hood, right? We
Mm,
know Hood has been red hot. We know that thing keeps going up and away. And I look at that, and I told Nate, like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy Hood right now. It's, it's just been
yep.
going up and up and up. So here I have two charts that look almost identical, GEV and Hood. One I say I absolutely want to own, and the other one I say I want to wait for a pullback. But why? Well, it's just visually impairing to look at a chart when it looks like this all the way in your screen. So zoom out, give it some room, and those are the stocks you want to be in.
Yep, I agree. I think it's one of the most overlooked things. Just that term. Oh, hey, it's overextended. I think it's thrown around, and I just don't think it's valid in most cases. Okay, little housekeeping for you guys too. We also have this new Money Crew list that we built. Me, Graham, and Lance working together. Some of the stock picks, by the way, from that list have been really nice so far. I don't know if you guys have followed it. We had AVGO and Google at the top of our list. 2 weeks ago, have you guys seen AVGO and Google in the last 2 weeks since they made the top scan? They've been monsters. If anyone is not on this list, well, actually, I know many of you guys are, but not everyone is getting the emails. Our tech team said that the email list was scrubbing a lot of people if they had former unsubscribes and different things like that. So there's a whole bunch of back end technology stuff that's going on there. But if you guys are not on this list, this is totally free. The new Money Crew is 100% free. It's just a newsletter that sends out every single day. Gives you the top stock scan using me, Graham, and Lance's, some of our proprietary ideas, all baked into one scan. So I think this is one of the most valuable things that you can get each day, and it's 100% free to get. So is everyone on this list? And if you go in and search your email for the words "New Money Crew," you should see emails. Make sure you check your spam. Make sure you mark it as a contact. We're having trouble a little bit. Email these days, with Google and stuff is so brutal to get through. You have to jump through all these hoops just to get people the things they're signing up for. I guess that's because, people do spam and all kinds of stuff like that. But I guess the first thing is check your email, just type in New Money Crew and you should see it. And then if anyone is not on this list, let me just pop the link in there. It's 100% free to sign up for. You just jump into this link right there. That'll open up this webpage. You enter your email, you enter your phone number, and you click that, and you'll get it. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. It's honestly had some monsters so far. Google, AVGO, NVIDIA was the top stock for 2 weeks going back before, and you guys have seen what NVIDIA has been doing. So hopefully you're enjoying that. We did a lot of effort to get this scan customized, to use all of our different methodologies. And so I hope you guys are enjoying that.
Nate,
Okay, and then
Shop was on there too right before
Shop was on there. That's true.
15% on the stock. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's been a heater so far. And by the way, every single one of these stocks that I just gave you are also somewhere on that list. Not all top 3 stocks, but somewhere on the super secret list behind the scenes that sometimes you get some sneak peeks on. Okay, and then my last housekeeping item is we did some updates to the income machine that are going to be deployed today. So I just want to walk you guys through this real quick. Since we don't have a master class today, I'm just hijacking Opening Playbook here for 2 minutes to show you some updates that we have on the income machine for the VIP. So this is the VIP version, folks. which is amazing because you can search any stock you want. So if you wanted to go look at shop, you could just type in shop. And even though it's, as you can see, it's not one of our top stocks, you can still go analyze it and find opportunities. So that's the big benefit of VIPs. You can go do that. But one of the cool things that we just added, well, this is actually not added. I'm on the demo before we deploy it, but this will be deployed today. So you got all these filters we started building, and like, I only want 5-star, 4-star. I only want spreads that are going to be within a certain cost. We added this that are really safe. They have like 12% of cushion or more, meaning that they give you an opportunity where the stock could fall 12% and you still make money, or balanced, or I went aggressive that has at least 2.5%. Sorry, excuse me, 2 to 5% there. And this sector work, because people said, hey, I've been taking a lot of technology stocks. I'm loaded up on technology. I want to get some other stuff. Maybe I want to look for manufacturing, or I want to look for retail. Well, we added some of these in here for you there as well. So that's in there as well. And you guys can take advantage of that. And then one of the coolest things that we added here, which I don't, let me see if it'll show up here on the demo version. Aha, it will. Okay, so if you go in here and you look at one of these trades, boom, add trade to journal. Guys, we added a custom journal for every Income Machine member so that if you add a trade to your journal, it'll pop in there, okay? And then you can go into your trade journal and it'll add that trade. Now, this is the demo. Like I said, the live isn't deployed yet, so I'm giving you just the visual demo, but that'll be deployed in the official live server today. I believe tomorrow at the latest, but I believe we said we could get it deployed today. So, like I said, I just wanted to hijack Opening Playbook here for a minute to show you guys some of the updates we did there, because those will be coming, and I'm pretty psyched and pumped about those.
Yeah, it's a super awesome. We hopefully you guys can see we're trying to bring you guys the best each and every day. Hey, did anyone hit the 60-minute income trade? I saw Cynthia said 50% profit. Celeste got one. Rodney got one. Susie, I
Oh
have not
wow.
yet. I have.
Okay,
I'm
we
at
got
45%.
we got a lot of people who are already in there. Got a
Yes,
couple people.
Jim, Jason's has crushed it. Man, a lot of you guys already got filled. I'm at 47%. Oh man, it's a good one.
Wayne's 2 cents away.
2 cents away. Yeah, I am 2 cents away as well, Wayne. We're sitting the same. Some people are already hitting. Love to see it.
Gino's
Um,
2 cents away. Okay, Mac got SPX, but waiting for XSP. Brandon's 2 cents away.
that's what. Yeah, Nate, I promise I've been listening to you. I promise, but I've also been watching.
You haven't been listening. You've been staring at that percentage
I
changing.
know. Like I said, who if you took it, who's having fun here? Like I said, this is the most fun I've been having in my 15 years of doing this. It's kind of addicting. Oh, there we go. There we go. Profit target hit for me. XSP hit. Let me post that and tell them
Boom.
XSP hit. Filled on Tasty Trade says Brian. Nice. Yeah, I'm on Thinkorswim.
Hate to pop in here too, but I just filled. This
Oh,
thing's freaking
Josiah, the
awesome.
newbie got it done. Josiah, I hope you weren't staring at the chart the whole time like Graham, not getting work done.
No, I've been working, but yes, it might be on one of my monitors over here on the side. Hey, at least it's not a 1 minute chart. A 1 minute chart would be way more stressful just to watch.
That's true. That's true.
That thing's awesome though. Hey, 50% in. I got in less than 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. So again, to restate, today was
Woo!
we've had some quick ones here in the opening playbook as well. Normally it's about 60 minutes, 90 minutes, somewhere in that range. But today was fun. It's always fun when it happens fast. Now you can be done for the day there if you took that trade. We're back at it again tomorrow. So that is exciting stuff. Now, just as a little teaser, I don't know who all here normally comes to the opening playbook or not, but we do this live trade room every single morning at 10 a.m. We got a lot of content, a lot of information for you guys to see. And I'm trying to keep up here with the chat. There's about a trillion coming in a second. But let me give you a little sneak peek for tomorrow. So on Tuesday mornings, I normally give my morning market outlook. If you've been paying attention, you know I said I would love to see a healthy cool off, but I think we're going higher. We've been slowly chugging higher RSI has been declining at the same time, which some people would see that as divergence, a weakening signal. I actually see that as a good breathtaking indicator for us, where the market's still holding strong, but buyers are able to regain their breath. Interestingly enough, check this out, guys, and I'll cover this all in detail tomorrow, but this is the percent of advisors who say they are overweight U.S. equities. Basically, are they long U.S. equities or foreign investments? Typically, you can see here when it's above the line, that means they're primarily in U.S. equities, and sometimes they go long foreign investments. Well, right now, we've seen more advisors and investors take on the other markets, the global markets, which tends to be a contrarian signal. Look at this. This is at the end of 2022, the last time we saw this. Does anyone remember what happened in 2022 and what happened in the markets in the following 2 years, 2023 and 2024? Normally, this is a very, very good sign when advisors get overextended to global markets. It typically means money's about to come pouring back into US markets, which, funny enough, we're seeing this right now just over the last couple of months. Largest inflow in Treasury from foreign capital to the US market since 2022. So, again, 2022. And now we're seeing the largest inflow since 2022. Pretty cool stuff going on right now in the U.S. markets, and I'm really excited. We talk about catch-up trades all the time here.
Hmm.
We say, like Apple right now is a great catch-up trade for tech and AI. It's down well below the highs. There's a lot of room for growth. Right now, believe it or not, the U.S. market is actually a great catch-up trade for the global market. Global markets are up 17% this year. The S&P is up about 7%. So we're going to see, I believe we're going to see a similar sort of catch-up trade here, even though it looks, if you're looking at the chart, again, it's deceiving. It looks like we're at all-time highs. It can't go any higher. Zoom out, get a different perspective, and see that there's about 10% of catch-up room here on the S&P 500. And yes, even though August and September seasonally are not as bullish as July was, I think we're still going to get a lot of great opportunities. So it's just something to keep an eye out for. Of course, again, come tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I will cover this in a full, like 45-minute, hour-long session, going step by step, answering your questions, going over the economics reports coming up this week, as well as the earnings coming up. And look at that. That is a pretty little poster board for us there with lots of earnings names coming up on the board. So we got action-packed week. We got one of my favorite stock, GEV, which we talked about today. Wednesday before the open, we've got Tesla after the close on Wednesday, Google after the close on Wednesday, ServiceNow, which was a mega stock for us for a while, cooled off since then. They have earnings coming up. That's a potential big time catch up opportunity here on ticker NOW. If you're looking for something with a little more upside, that is the ticker you want to be looking at, and a lot of other names. So we'll cover that tomorrow morning in the live session. Now, with that said, there we go. Everyone's posting that they got filled on the 60-minute income trade. I am loving it. Hopefully you are too. We're not going to
Heck
win
of a
every
way
day.
to start.
We're not going to
Graham,
win every day. We're not going to win this fast every day. But hey, I can't complain about first trade going, hitting our target $500 in about 40 minutes.
Oh, by the way, Dell asked, hey, he's waiting to hear about the service that has a 91% win rate. Dell, that was just a free strategy that I'm working on that I was going to give away all the rules to. It's not a service or anything, nothing you have to pay for. I was just exploring how to use targets on the SPY with more of a portfolio strategy. So I'm going to continue to optimize it and share the rules for free, and I'll do a full strategy guide. By the way, Graham, speaking of doing opening playbook every day, we had like 1,000 people last night. And I guess, some of them don't really know us or our opening playbook. I saw this comment. The one guy was like, oh, well, Graham, if you were really legit, you would share your ideas for free on some kind of daily trade show. Like you literally made that comment. I was like, well, we do that, buddy. So apparently he's on an opening playbook, but hopefully you guys can attest. We put our money where our mouth is every day on opening playbook, and the stuff that we do on the service side is just kind of like the premium or the next level or the behind the scenes version of that. But hopefully, I don't know, I forget whoever that was, but hopefully you're here in the room today and you're seeing what we do on a daily basis.
And just really quick here, I've gotten a lot of messages today. Hey, missed last night. Why can't I share screen? Oh, there we go. Hey, missed last night. Where are these being posted? Are they in your main Telegram? Guys, note this is now in a private Telegram. Let me just shrink this up for you. All right. Private Telegram. So if you're a member, make sure you go to the members portal, get in that private Telegram. Again, this was all this morning. I gave you little insights on the market. Then we had our opening range game plan with the options we'd be trading. Bullish signal right there, 9:49 a.m. Got it to you a minute early because it was so far above the breakout zone. You got my fill prices, you got my exit prices, commentary. This was just a little tip for you guys. And then XSP hit. So this is a private Telegram channel. This is not my main Telegram channel. You have to make sure to join from that private link that's in the members portal for you guys. Now, for those of you who didn't get to tune in last night, I know it was a weekend. I like enjoying my weekends on my own and not working. But hey, we had a special event for you guys last night because I wanted to get you in for today's new trade, which just so happened to hit right away in about 40 minutes. So it's a 60-minute income plan. We had one, this one did 40. So you get the
You're
picture.
allowed to do 40. We allow it.
In the morning. Typically, this is the slogan I kind of go by. I want to have $500 in my pocket by lunchtime. Now, to be clear, I actually go for 1,000 each day, so I want to have 1,000 in my pocket by lunchtime. But if you want to start with 1K, going for 500 a day, that's kind of how it works. And we've done it with 86% accuracy, now one better with today's close trade.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys already got a chance to see it just based on the chat today. I've seen a whole bunch of people hit those targets, so that's been a ton of fun. And if you guys missed it, or you just want to get the rest of the details, or you weren't able to get the full session last night, well, we're going to jump right back in here. Want to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to do this. Join the fun every day. I'm sure we'll be talking about it during Opening Playbook. And, we don't want anyone to miss out on the fun, on the action, hopefully putting a couple $100 in your pocket on a daily basis, which is, what this is really ultimately all about. So let's jump right in here.
Graham, a couple things here real quick. Sorry.
Yep.
Max says 1,500 before breakfast. Nice, Mac.
Max beating you. How do you feel about that, Graham?
I know that puts a little chip on my shoulder there. I'm ready to amp up my starting stake, Mac. Couple of things here. Number one thing is how much you need to start out with, guys. These options are as cheap as $50 to get in, so you don't need a big account. Yes, I use $2,000 a day because I've seen it work. I've stacked up the results myself, and I'm going to start increasing my position sizing too. Because right now I'm going for $1,000 a day. Second thing, a lot of people have been asking, is this day trading? Guys, this technically is a day trade, right? We hit in 40 minutes today. Yes, it is. With that said, for those of you who have under $25,000 in your account, if you're worried about the pattern day trading rule, let me assure you, do not worry about that here. And there's a couple of reasons why. We have some workarounds that are very, very good and profitable that you can use where the pattern day trading rule will not affect you. So just trust me on this one. I will cover it at the end. But if you are worried about the pattern day trading rule locking up your account, don't worry about that here. We've got you covered. So with that said, we get a new opportunity every single day, up to 5 times per week. We get a new opportunity. So if you miss today, yeah, that stinks. But we're going to get a new one for you tomorrow. So buckle up and let's do this thing.
Well, and I hate to say this, Graham, but also you're getting beaten more than one way because Celeste not only, Mac made more money than you and Celeste got it in 29 minutes. So you're just getting beat every which way with the members so far. But guys, we're going to talk about this 60-minute income. The performance displayed here is both from real time, so Graham's real money trades, and then also looking back in hindsight. So we went from February 18th to June 18th. We had an 86% win rate, average 32% return. Then Graham traded it live for the last month, also 86% win rate, and just a little better average return of 33%. And then we went a lot further back, which we'll talk about in a minute here. But you guys know the drill. Even with as great as it's been, even with all the comments in here, people making $500, $1,000, $1,500 a day, that doesn't mean it's bulletproof. It doesn't mean it automatically prints money. We'll have a loser at some point. You guys will have to face that if you want to build a strategy over time, blending the winners and losers together. And so we always say, if you guys can't handle a loss, that's going to come at some point, then obviously we recommend, paper trade or just give your money to a financial advisor or whatever else, but don't actively manage that money. So thanks again for being here. I'm sure most of you know, but I'm Nate Tucci, and today I get to be the one to be your host and help guide you into that idea that could be worth $500 or more by tomorrow morning, just like it was today. And if things go as we expect, just like they did today, that $500 should hit within about the first 60 minutes of the day. Now, all we have to do, set the position right around 10 a.m. You can see there, 9:50 to 10 a.m. is pretty normal. Let the market tick in a few directions or a few ticks in either direction, whether it's bullish or bearish. And as long as that happens, we should see about $500 based on that 1K stake hit our account within the first 60 minutes of the day. Now, I understand that sounds a little crazy, probably less crazy to many of you now after doing it, maybe even a little too simplistic to actually work. But let's actually take a look at a whole bunch of real trades, real money trades, so you can see how this works. Let's start with June 20th. Okay, by the way, my daughter's birthday. Anyone using this unique trade could have set the position at about 9:50 a.m.